All right, so this is even cooler because now I have the strength training app part of the Muscle in Motion, which is like absolutely fantastic. And now I'm really having a good time. So I am helping you dissect the squat, and here's your target muscles is that quadricep femoris that we just looked at with the corrective exercises, glute max on that rear end here, and then synergists, magnus of the inner thighs, the big inner thigh muscle. Soleus is deep in the lower leg on the back. Hamstrings on both sides. Gastrocnemius is on top of soleus. It's the big calf muscle. Now, your stabilizers are the things that are going to, when I talk about one of your best core exercises is a squat, it's because you have so much stabilization in it. And look at all of these erector spinae. There's some postural and phasic in there. Quadricep lumborum is a core muscle. Gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, excellent muscles to add into that exercise. Adductor muscles of the outer leg, glutes, outer quadricep, and then levator scapula. That goes all the way up to the neck, right between the shoulder blade and moving to the base of the occiput, the skull. The upper traps, which is postural, and the abdominal muscles. And your abdominal muscle is your transversus abdominal, which is a core muscle. Your deep spinal muscles, which are part of your core, are part of this as well. There's going to be, because you have your hands on a bar and you have a slight grip, you're going to have some scaling involved with that. There's a lot more going on here than just that. So let's talk a little bit about a squat and let's get into the exercise itself. All right, so I have myself doing it, but I actually do like the way that they did this. Now, there is a person in this program that actually is deviating from this, and I'm going to take this up. I'm going to show you the deviation. Let me see if I can find it. Let's go into the movement first. So here's the quadricep. The target is the femoris, gluteus maximus, and then hamstrings are going to be assisting in this. And here's all the muscles. This is really cool. Now that's a pretty low squat. Most people can't squat that low, but it's still safe. The knee is at a 90-degree angle. And once we get to a 90-degree angle, we're asking the glutes to really activate. Now, they just said spinal erectors as core muscles, the deep paraspinal muscles, but these erectors are not. They're the lower lumbar and the cervical erectors are postural. The mid back erectors are phasic. So it's the deepest part of the spine muscles that are part of the core. And I actually like to have the neck in a neutral position. He's looking down. I want it just a little bit more so that you're not tipping your head and working the front of your um, sternocleidomastoid on that. All right, so here I found it. So this is giving me a little bit of explanation of it. So she is not in the right position, even though they're drawing lines to it. If you have a good eye, you can see her tucking her pelvis under right there. And then again, when she comes up and not isolating the glute, taking the pelvis into the action, which is a big fat no-no to me. It's taking the lower lumbar spine and taking it into a flexion position, which loads the lower back. It's not really, that's not the position that it likes to be loaded in. So that's why I really like that. This one girl that shows, this girl here has really beautiful form, and you should feel that glute move outward when you sit into it because that's the way the fibers are. And then you should feel the power of that glute push you back up. There should be no tipping of the pelvis in that movement. That will never enhance the gluteus maximus 100%. That glute attaches all the way up to the crest of that pelvic bone, and you want that whole glute to work. The minute that pelvis tips under, you lose part of that glute, and you want the density in that glute. That is going to be one of the muscles that will save your back when you get older. So this piece of this lower lumbar should be posturally set, and the deep core of that lower back should be holding it really nicely. And when you come down, there's a moment where that internal core can let itself move outward as you breathe in, and then as you push up, that exhale is going to contract and move inward into the diaphragm, into the lower back, and push you out of that squat position. And there's that non-Valsalva maneuver squat. You need to get that air out as you move up. So there it is. That's a squat. This is a wonderful program. I'm so happy I got it. It'll give me some good stuff for you to see. Alternate exercises. There's a bar squat. I did a bar squat on the Smith machine, and we're not going to do a front squat. And then you can also do a band squat, and you'll see there's a little wobble in her knee here because she's probably got a right dominant hip. And so when she comes down, you can see that she sits onto that right hip, and there's that deviation. I can see that. If you can't see that, that's okay. But if you watch it enough times, you may see there's a little movement of that femur bone moving onto that right side, and then she sits right into that right hip. It's minor, but over time it's major. There you go.
All right, so we're going to work on some squats. The reason why I love squats is because it also engages your deep core. When you squat, your body thinks that you're lifting something up, and it's going to engage the center for the protection of the main branch of the body, and then it's going to create postural contraction of the postural muscles to make sure that the joints are all protected on the arm joints, neck, legs, knees, ankles, wrists, the whole bit. And then it's also going to incorporate some moving muscles because you're moving. So we have a little bit of everything. So we can do them slow. We can go for a 2 count. We can go for a 1 count. We can actually even drop it down for a 4 count and really try to get the core to start pumping. So throw away your planks, throw away your core exercise that are holding it, and get back to doing squats. Squats are great for your knees if they're done right, and that's the biggest problem is people don't use their hips. They're locked into the hip. The pelvis is tipped in the wrong direction, and they are squatting improperly. So let's look at a squat. I'm going to show you sideways. I have a very light bar on my back. So my ear, my shoulder, my hip, and my ankle should be in alignment. And I highly recommend that you set up a camera so that you can watch yourself squat. And we're going to take the body, pull the rib cage up to the ceiling, and lift so that you're in a nice straight position. And we're going to start to sit down like we're going into a squat in the woods position. And then we're going to bring it back up. Now, there's a few things that people can do improperly with these. I'm going nice and slow because I want to do a warm up and really set my pelvis. I'm not going to be perfect because I'm not 25 years old anymore. So that's fine, but I need to be safe. If I kept going down right now because I'm a little bit, I haven't warmed up yet, my body's going to start coming forward and I'm going to go into a deadlift, which I'm not doing right now. I want to squat. So I want to sit just to the point where I still feel my body is in alignment with my ears and my hip and my ankles. Now, most of the time what I see people do is this. I'll see them move into their knees and tuck their pelvis. So this loads the lower back and the front of the knee. So we need to, a good way that I've always taught it, lift the toes gently in the shoes, not to the point where you're on your heels, but just enough so that it pulls the body weight. And I'll show you, here's my weight in my toe. Now here's my weight in my heel. And we want to go somewhere right at that arch point. Weights in the arch and the heel. We're going to keep it there. We're going to squat down. We're looking straight ahead, and then we're going to push it up. Now, if you're new to squatting, ditch the bar. I just did that to show you. Showed this to somebody just yesterday. Have the arms up and parallel with the floor, and do not let them leave that position. And that'll start to develop your squat just a few times. And then once you're there, then bring them forward and then continue your squat. And this will just help you understand how low to go to start, and then you can start working it. Because in this position, I'll see people do this and then come back up, all right? And that's all lower back. We want to really focus on the quads, the hamstrings, and then get some power to the glutes. So a nice squat routine would be take it slow for the first maybe 5 can be 4 counts, and then bring it up to a working 2 count and take that up for 10 more repetitions. And then finish it with another 5 to 10 repetitions of a 1 count. And that's just a nice, easy level 1 to do. Let's do it right now. So I'll face in. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Get the deep line. Pull it inward as you push up. Feel the whole body compressing. Good. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2. 1, 2. Good. That one's going to be 2. Good. So we're already at 8, 9, 10. Keep going. Now, if you want, let's drop the arms for 5. Good. And 2. 1, 2, 1, 3. 1, 2, 1, 4. 1, 2. Good. Take it to a 1 count. And it's 1, 1. Good. Really focus on the glutes on this one. Squeeze those glutes. And 3. Squeeze. 5. Squeeze in 6. 7. 8. 9. And that was a nice finish set. Very good.
So this is the way I align myself up with the Smith machine. My feet are just a little bit forward to my body so that I can really sit back into it. There's a few different variations, but this is a little bit more forward than the way that I do it. I have my feet maybe right here, and I sit back a little bit more into my hip, but this is moving towards like what a sissy squat would look like, where you move behind yourself and it develops the knee part of the quadricep a little bit.
All right, so a lot of people don't like Smith machines. They feel locked into them. I, however, enjoy being able to sit myself back into my hip more when I'm doing my squats so that I can really enhance my hamstring into my glute while I'm standing up. So if you do have a Smith machine in the gym, I'm going to show you a couple sideways and then I'll bring it to the front. So we're going to set ourselves up on that bar. Take that bar up off the safeties, and then you're just going to bring it so that your ankles are now just a little bit in front of your body. They're not directly under, so that when you sit down, you can really sit into your heel and then push up. So it's starting to move towards that sissy squat feeling at that knee. And we've got a really nice execution of that glute. And really powering up into that glute and hamstring. Really getting that glute to work. I can really feel that. Good, nice. nice and slow with these two. We're doing a nice 2 count. So it's a pull, inhaling, and then push with the exhale. It's a pull and then a brief stop and then a push up. Now remember, your goal is to strengthen. You're not a power lifter. So you want to really have control over everything that you do.